so today we are going to start lesson 2. So let me go back to the question I asked you at the end of yesterday's lesson. We talked about the noises that were around when Kwame was playing his drums, when he went to town. Think about the different sounds that you hear during the day. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make a list of those sounds. What I want you to do is brainstorm at your table, and I want you to think about the noises that you hear throughout the day. Write one of those sounds on the sticky note that you have in front of you. Good, we had some great sounds going on. Any sound that isn't necessary for what you're doing and where you are at that moment, it's called a competing sound. That's like background music, background noise. Okay, that's stuff that has nothing to do with what's going on at that moment. Okay, any sound that you hear that has to do with what you're doing or what you're hearing at the moment, because that's what you need to hear at that moment, that's called the primary sound, or that's the main sound. Okay, so we have a chart up on the board. We want to see where the majority of the sounds are throughout your day. And you're going to place your sticky note up here. Primary here. If it's a competing sound, put it over here. All right, so let's start with this table. All right, you're going to come up, you're going to read the sound that you have and put it up on the board, okay? So acoustical engineers, this is what they deal with. They deal with all that background sound, the competing sound to the sound that you really want to hear. They come up with ideas to damp the sound, okay? This is a tuning fork. So I'm going to hit it so it vibrates, and then I'm going to show you the vibration. Okay, you ready? So I'm going to just tap it. Okay, so it is vibrating, and you heard that sound, right? So what I want you to do, each of you at your table will take a turn. I want you to hold the, not yet, after I'm done. Hold the tuning fork to your cheek and your ear. Can't hear anything and nothing's vibrating, yes? Yeah. So then I'm going to tap it and I can hear it, and then I'm going to put it on my cheek, okay? So that's what I want you to do. Okay.
Tap it, put
Tyler, what happened when you touched the tuning fork to your cheek?
It like vibrated.
When you touched it to your cheek, what happened to the vibrations?
It stopped.
It stopped. Okay? So your job as an acoustical engineer would be to stop that sound, stop the vibrations so that the primary sound can be heard. Okay? We talked about the properties of sound yesterday. Now, let's look at the materials that we're going to use to damp the sound. Let's look at the properties of felt. What can you tell me about felt? Pick it up. There's 3. Give everyone at your table one. What is a property of that material?
It feels thin, and then like when you rub it, like it feels like cotton when you rub it.
How many of you say it's soft and smooth? All right. So you are going to be acoustical engineers. You're going to damp the sound of the guitar strings using the materials in front of you. You have clay, you have foil, and you have felt.
With your pencil, it's easier because look at what it. And then just the rubber bands.
So what's that called when you're putting it all the way around it? It's
rounding.
Wrapping.
Wrapping, yeah.
Okay.
So we're basically trying to
So
make
write that down.
Yeah, we all should write the felt chick on the side.
Place the materials to dampen the sound of those strings. All right. Tomorrow we still have to do the horn. What I want you to do is one person raise their hand and tell me what is the one thing that you did with all 3 materials to damp the sound of the strings? Nicholas?
We wrapped it around the strings.
You wrapped each material separately around the strings, and why do you think that was effective?
Because if we wrapped it around and like we touched it with our hand, like we flicked it up and down.
Okay.
Like it was fading away once we flicked it.
The sound was fading away, so that means the vibrations were what? Going faster or slower?
Slower.
Slowing down. Raise your hand if your group had the same thing happen. Okay. Do you agree with how Nicholas explained that? Okay, get a nice job, Nicholas. All right, this was good. All right, so today we're going to finish up lesson 2, and we're going to work with the trumpet. So what I would like you to do right now is just share with us what you did with the guitar strings. What was the purpose of yesterday's activity?
To find out how to dampen sound using felt, aluminum foil, and clay.
Okay, so you tried different materials to damp the sound of the guitar strings, aka rubber bands, right? And what did we discover? What did you discover, David?
That's some of the items we used made the strings made no vibrations.
Okay. Anything else?
We try to stop the vibration.
We were trying to stop the vibrations, and why were we doing that?
To damp the sound.
All right, so today you're going to get the materials that you need to damp the sound of the horn. So I'll demonstrate what I want you to do, just so you can hear the sound. You're going to speak into it, and you're going to say hello, hello, hello. Watch. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, now you try it. Okay, now, remembering yesterday when we damped the sound of the guitar strings, we used, what materials did we use, Victoria?
We use clay, we use felt, and we use aluminum foil.
Foil, okay. So, we're going to use the same materials, the felt and the foil, but we're not going to use the clay today. The idea, again, is to change the sound by making it what?
Damp.
We're going to damp it by making it softer. Okay? All right, so what I want you to do is think about what we're going to do with the horn. We're going to call this a horn. Okay? How are we going to use the materials to dampen the sound of the horn? Okay? Make your prediction on there. What do you think will work best for the sound that you hear when you speak into the tube? So you make a prediction right now which materials you think will be better. The first thing you're going to do is investigate doing nothing to the tube. Okay? Calling in hello, hello, hello. No sounds, no moaning. Just the hello is enough. How well could you hear that sound?
Good.
Very well.
No.
Write down in the box, how well could you hear that sound? If you could hear that loud and clear, write it down. Now, your job is to dampen the sound using the materials that are given you. Okay, start with what? You're going to start with a felt piece, okay? I'm going to pass around a rubber band, and I get every one of them back, right?
Yes.
Could you hear the sound? So did I hear it as loud and clear as the first one? All right, so now take a look at the second column on your chart. It says at the top, put an X in the box of the material that dampened the sound the most. Okay, then I want you to explain why you chose that. All right, who wants to share their materials that work the best? Go ahead.
I think it was the 3 pieces of felt, because when the felt piled up, it made it thicker, so all the thickness will capture the sound.
Okay, so I like that. Captured the sound. How did it capture the sound?
by because it's so thick and the sound, instead of the sound just going through it, it kind of like absorbed the sound.
That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Absorption. That sound was absorbed into that material. All right, I think we're done for the day. Nice job. So I found the EiE program, the unit that I worked with, very structured and engaging for the students. It provides them with quite an engaging experience, but also one that builds on their creative side and their thinking skills, which they don't always get to practice every day.